What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Gary Numan as we continue with the 1981 album Dance. Thank you again to Wayne and, of course, to Han Solo for providing the initial Two-Way Army and Gary Numan material. And the next song in the playlist is She's Got Claws, which is often a metaphorical statement about a female, a woman who might seem initially innocent or beautiful and thus not particularly dangerous or volatile or violent, only then to reveal a sharper and more dangerous side. And so the line is, she's got claws, or Kitty's got claws. I do wonder here, which I suppose is essentially a feline or at least non-human predator type of reference, because we humans do not have claws. But yes, I wonder whether this relates to an actual woman or whether maybe there's some personification happening here. So yeah, it feels like the kind of song title that might function on multiple levels, and knowing that Gary often does address aspects of his autobiographical experience, I am curious about this title. So let's see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is Gary Numan. The song is She's Got Claws from the 1981 album Dance. Quite an opening.
You are distraction, like pictures on the wall. I don't like guys. You are attraction, it gets my favorite scene. You're up by him now. She's got claws, she's got claws, she's got claws. But my back, she knows. Where dreams in cold storage. With the nuns that
Oof.
you say you love me, maybe you do. The patience I can't tell. I don't believe you. Yes, that's straight. That's like you've been up out. Here on the ground, on the floor, screaming nothing at all. Here on the ground, like some fool looking down on you all. Until I did lies, I'm not sure. Okay.
What a tune! Like wild and very dynamic and varied. I mean, I was really keying in on the bass throughout the whole track, but right at the end, it's like, I can just see someone, grooving on a bass guitar. And it's funny because a lot of the Two Way Army stuff had really notable bass, but this had a different feel. I mean, multiple parts of the song had a very funky feel, like funk music, not just like, synth funk, but like funk music. And I don't think it was slap bass, but it had that kind of that vibe, that type of attitude. And yet that's only one ingredient of the Sonics here. We obviously had these, keyboards and electronic sounds, very much indicative of a lot of Gary's work, although a little bit different. And some of the keyboard and electronic Sonics with a notably dissonant sound, like a bit, what's the right word? Not unpleasant, but like unsettling and a bit like off in terms of like the atmosphere that it created, which I enjoyed that contrast between that and the more, smooth and funky sections of the tune. So yeah, it's again hearing songs from Gary and his Two Way Army where it's like, guitars and a kind of, edgy rock or like post-punk sound mixed with keyboards. That's something I'm used to. This kind of funk and a bit dissonant groove mixed with some keyboard sonics, that feels a bit more unique in his catalog that I've heard up until this point. And there were multiple sounds, including these like keyboard lines, which sounded a bit like cats mewing or meowing. And obviously I'm thinking of Luca, but no, seriously, like it's like, she's got claws, which I said in advance, like sort of like a feline reference, or at least that's usually, again, kitty's got claws. That's kind of the context in which people use that phrase. And so I don't think it was an accident that it sounded like there were some, analog electric cats in the tune. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but a really interesting one sonically. I couldn't follow the lyrics as clearly. I mean, obviously there were a couple lines, and we can dance the night away. It's like, oh, a reference to dance. Even though I think it was Mark who mentioned there's, not as much danceable type of sonics as you would think on an album named Dance. But yeah, that was interesting. Oh, and there was another line that I caught in the moment. I'm forgetting, of course. But obviously she's got claws, that repetition, that felt like a very classic Numan chorus. And obviously his vocals are in their, his most common type of vocal delivery with a bit of that, android type sound. But yeah, a really crazy one sonically, and the bass definitely standing out as much as anything else. So yeah, a wild one. I'm curious to hear what people have to say and any insights you might have about the lyrics. Again, there were a couple other lines I caught, but the sonics were so mesmerizing that by the end, by the time I got to this outro, I can't quite recall what I heard lyrically. Although again, there were multiple lines where like I didn't catch everything even in the moment. So one that I have to listen to multiple times and digest. In any case, let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.